Kabbalah, from ancient mysticism to modern mastery. Introduction. It begins not in a synagogue, not in a book, not in the whispered secrets of a teacher, but in a silence that descends in the midst of a crowded life. It is the quiet, persistent tremor in the human soul that asks, in a moment of stillness between one task and the next, is this all there is? This question, at once profoundly personal and universally human, is the primordial spark from which all spiritual seeking ignites. It is the foundational discontent, the sacred restlessness that has propelled humanity's greatest philosophical, artistic, and mystical endeavors since the dawn of consciousness. Before we can even utter the word Kabbalah, we must first listen to this inner call, the call to the path. It is the deep, often unarticulated yearning for meaning that transcends the mundane, for a purpose that outlasts our brief lifespan, and for a connection that pierces the profound isolation of the individual self. This yearning is the raw material, the uncarved block, upon which the wisdom of Kabbalah seeks to work its transformative art. Consider the trajectory of a modern life. We are born into a world of predefined roles and relentless motion. We are educated for a career, encouraged to accumulate possessions, and measured by a matrix of social and economic success. We scroll through curated highlights of others' lives. We chase promotions, we tend to our families, and we fill our hours with a dizzying array of distractions. Yet, in a quiet moment, perhaps looking out a window at the first stars of the evening, or holding the hand of a loved one in a hospital room, or simply feeling a strange hollowness after achieving a long-sought goal, the entire elaborate structure of our lives can suddenly seem like a beautiful, complex answer to a question we have forgotten to ask. The achievements feel fleeting, the possessions transient, and the social validation a fickle echo. It is in this crack in the armor of our daily existence that the light of the universal question pours in. It is not a question of logic, but of experience. It is the soul's hunger for substance in a world that often offers only shadow. This longing manifests in 1,000 different ways. It is the scientist who, after mapping the genome, looks up in awe at the mystery of life itself, a mystery that data cannot satisfy. It is the artist who strives to capture a beauty that is always just beyond the reach of brush or pen. It is the parent who feels a love so vast it seems to originate from somewhere beyond their own heart. It is the seeker who, having tried the offerings of modern therapy, wellness culture, and material success, still finds a core of the self that remains unaddressed, a question that remains unanswered. We yearn to know that we are more than just biological accidents in a cold, indifferent universe. We crave to understand if our suffering has purpose, if our love has a cosmic significance, and if our individual consciousness is a fleeting spark or an essential note in an eternal symphony. We seek ultimately to come home, to a state of belonging, understanding, and integration that we feel we have lost, even if we cannot name what that home is or when we left it. This is the precise juncture where the ancient path of Kabbalah becomes not a historical curiosity, but a vital and urgent map for the modern soul. It does not dismiss the questions of the yearning heart as naive or childish. Instead, it affirms them as the most important questions a human being can ask. Kabbalah provides a language for this yearning and a structured path for its fulfillment. It posits that this feeling of disconnection, this sense of a lost home, is not a psychological flaw, but an accurate perception of our spiritual state. According to its core teaching, we are separated from our source. We have forgotten our true nature, and the world we perceive is a fragmented reflection of a higher, unified reality. The yearning for meaning is the soul's memory of the divine. The search for purpose is the impulse to fulfill our unique role in the cosmic plan. The longing for connection is the gravitational pull of the infinite, drawing all the scattered sparks of light back toward their origin. Therefore, the call to the path is not an invitation to adopt a new set of foreign beliefs, but to remember a truth that is already encoded within the very fabric of your being. You would not feel thirst if water did not exist. You would not feel hunger if food were not a reality. In the same way, the Kabbalist would argue, you would not feel this profound spiritual yearning if there were not a divine reality to which it corresponds. The emptiness is, paradoxically, the shape of God in your soul. The path of Kabbalah is the process of learning to recognize that shape, to understand its contours, and to consciously undertake the journey of filling it, or more accurately, of realizing it was never truly empty to begin with, only obscured. This book is designed to be your guide on that journey. It begins by honoring your deepest questions, not as a problem to be solved, but as the divine compass needle pointing you toward your ultimate destination, the rediscovery of your true self, and through that self, the rediscovery of the infinite light from which you and all of creation eternally shine.